Tim Zugger, and I'm the general manager of the DoubleTree Hotel in Pittsburgh.
I'm Bill Covaleski of Victory Brewing Company.
My name's Tom Neely, and I'm the general manager of the Nittany Lion Inn at Penn State.
When I was growing up, my dad ran a hotel, so I worked for him in many different jobs in high school. My first job outside of high school, I was a supervisor in housekeeping in a hotel in Florida.
My first job in the hospitality industry was actually managing and operating a restaurant. We opened the doors to Victory Brewing Company, the tap room there, in February of 1996, and prior to that I had worked as a brewer in a brew pub, but I was right in operations to begin.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if I can remember that long ago, but I believe I started in the housekeeping department, fresh out of college as a housekeeping manager intern with Interstate Hotels Corporation. I would say my proudest moment as a leader was opening the Great Wolf Lodge in Williamsburg, Virginia. It was a multifaceted, multi-tenant resort. We were way up against the deadlines for finish out, as most new openings are, and it was a great, successful opening to very high occupancies, higher than I've ever seen.
The best part of having a leadership role is not necessarily seeing an idea or a directive turn to action, but is seeing a concept, an inspiration turn to action. To actually watch someone be inspired by something you may have offered them or said to them and see them incorporated into their life, whether professionally or personally, that is truly a win for both parties.
My first general manager's job was an accomplishment that I looked forward to for a long time, and it's something that I remember.
My favorite sports team is the Philadelphia Flyers. I have followed that team forever and gotten to meet some of the former players.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
You'll laugh about this, but it's the Indianapolis Colts. It's been a long, dry spell. We had a brief respite there under Peyton Manning, and I don't think it's going to happen for a while now.
Gosh, I'd most like to have dinner with Benjamin Franklin. Because he was such an incredibly innovative person who, for his time, thought so different than the norm. A true thought leader whose work still resonates.
I'd love to have dinner with Abraham Lincoln. I just think that his perspective on the United States and being a united entity and all together was profound at the time, and I'd like to know how he manifested those thoughts in through his legacy.
My wife, who's alive.
A productivity trick that I think has helped me succeed, and probably will for everyone, is quite simple. Put the cell phone away. Keep it a distance from you when you have a task that needs concentration, and you're going to get that task done more quickly.
I think in this day and age, it's all about efficiency, not only for myself, but for the team. I'm a firm believer that everything needs to be in its place so that people can find it quickly and take care of business as quickly as possible without frustration and pain. And if we can maintain efficiencies, we can be a whole lot better.
It's just really to stay organized, keep your email organized, keep your files organized. When your email is a mess, it's so hard to find things, and you spend so much time searching through emails and things, and just keeping yourself organized.
Well, I spent a really great week at the Sandbridge, Virginia this past summer in a family reunion, helping to celebrate my mother's 90th birthday.
I went elk hunting in New Mexico. Successful trip too.
In June of this year, I had the great pleasure of visiting Vietnam for the first time. And I found the energy, enthusiasm, and excitement for the future to be so infectious amongst the people there.
My cell phone. There's been days when I've driven to work and realized I left my phone at home, and I either have to turn around and go and get it or have my wife drop it off for me.
I think in this day and age, it's a cell phone. I always say I have to have my leash. It's an unfortunate thing, and I can't say it's my favorite thing in the world, but I just can't leave without it.
I can't leave the house without shoes. Where would I go with bare feet?
The top of my bucket list, I would love to do an around the world in 80 days kind of tour. I think that would be a phenomenal thing. I was always enthralled by the movie Around the World in 80 Days. I love international travel, and I just think that that would be a phenomenal opportunity and trip.
Probably a trip to Hawaii with the family. I would really enjoy going there. Never been there. That's on the bucket list for sure.
You know, bucket lists are full of personal wishes and desires, but none of those things really are fulfilling done alone. So the top of my bucket list is the hope that I can experience cool things with other people.
The hospitality industry is great because every day is different. Some days are easier than others, but it's a fun industry. You're always dealing with something, and you're never ever bored.
What I enjoy most about the hospitality industry is the fact that people are everything to it. We are trying to create experiences for people. Those experiences are created by people. So human life is the center of it, and we are the most fascinating thing ever created.
I love the fact that I get to work with and for great people. Ours is a people industry, clearly, and when I'm working with a great team of people, working for our guests and creating a phenomenal opportunity and experience for all of them, I think that that is what our industry is all about and what I love the most about it.
The best advice I've ever received: to treat people the same way you want to be treated. In our business, there's some stress at times, and there's some times that you have to react to things quickly, and you always have to think of your team and the guests that you're dealing with, and just treat people the way that you want to be treated yourself.
The best advice I've ever received from a management standpoint came from a gentleman who happens to be a friend of mine. He's also a coach, life coach. When you're terminating someone, which is a terrible thing that you don't want to really contemplate, try and point out the top 2 or 3 moments in that person's career, the best of times, because then it gives tremendous perspective to the reason why the relationship is over.
That a hotel is not like a battleship. It's more like an aircraft carrier. When you are new in a hotel, a battleship out on the ocean can turn on a dime, but an aircraft carrier has to make a big, long, sweeping turn. And I've learned that early in my career from a general manager who I respect greatly. And I would tell you that he's right. You can't change things that quickly in our industry without turning everything upside down. And as long as you are always looking to be a little bit better or a little bit different every day, you'll make the turn before you even know it.